Hi, this is going to be a really quick lesson. I've loaded in my seahorse graphic and I'm now just going to delete, by holding down my control key, right clicking, I'm going to delete the white areas because I don't want those to generate. I've just brought this in, by the way, as just simple artwork. Now I'm not really keen on having all these gaps, etc. around the design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my adjust with new points. So I'm going to select the green part of the seahorse, hit my F6 key, which will turn it grey, and I'm going to press down the hand tool. Now you can see I've actually got little nodes around my seahorse. I can actually drag those so they go across the top of that area here, and I'll just right click and I'm just dragging that to give it a little bit more shape. Just make sure it's overlapping, and I'm going to generate. Now you see we don't have a gap, but we do have two parts of the seahorse. So again, hit my F6 key and right click and merge and generate. Now we've joined, if I 3D view, the seahorse into one area. Now it's lost a few of its scallops around this area here, so I'm going to turn off the 3D. I'm going to zoom in to that area so I can see it better. Hit my F6 key. Now I'm going to right click and adjust with an arc, and I'm going to select an area there. Now if I bring my cursor, you'll see that that's turned a blue color. If I left click, I can then drag it to give it a little bit more shape, and I can do it again for these areas just to give it that little bit more definition. I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. I'm just going to go halfway and drag it in, and each time I drag it in I left click. Okay, that's made it a little bit better, so I'm going to enter, escape and generate. Now you see we filled the gap and we've actually got our scallops back in the seahorse part of the design. Now I'm going to change it to a complex fill, and I'm going to generate. I'm going to hit the N key on my keyboard, which will zoom you back out again. I'm not going to worry about the in and out points at the moment. Again, we're going to select the blue parts of the design, and this time I'm going to hit my F6 key. Now I might zoom in as well just so that you can see what I'm doing to that area. And I'm going to, this time, right click and adjust with new points. I'm going to click on the left click on the end of there to put a green spot, and down at the bottom I'm going to do the same thing. Now if I move my cursor, it turns blue. It would attach itself to my cursor, and by then left clicking I can actually bring that in and generate. All I did then was enter. Because I want to do the same thing on the other side, I'm going to click there and there, turn it blue, and I'm actually just going to bring those areas in. And enter, escape and generate. I'll zoom back out again with my N key. Now you can see that the actual blue area is gone behind the seahorse. Now all I need to do is, while those areas are selected, hit my F6 key, and I'm now going to right click and create a void using existing area. When my seahorse turns pink, left click, and that's cut the area out so that I don't get two layers machining out on top of each other. Now we can do the same thing if we want to on the areas at the bottom here. So this time I'm going to select those areas. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to hit my F6 key, right click and adjust with new points. I'm going to select that one. Now I would like this to go right across the other side, so what I'm going to do is going to actually select that, and then I'm actually going to bring that over here. enter, escape, and on this side I'm going to adjust with new points. Again. Now you'll notice if I click at the top and then at the bottom, when I get the blue line attached to my cursor, I start adding points from the top to the bottom. This time I'm going to actually, because that is below there, I'm going to actually overlap, enter, escape, and generate. Because there's a whole area of seahorse there, what I might do is go back to that first area, hit my FC key, select my nodes and drag it across so it's actually over the top of the other area. Hit my enter key. Escape and generate. Okay, now those two areas that we've got now, I'm going to make sure I select both of those holding down my control key. Hit my F6 key. I'm going to right click and merge and generate. Now I've actually joined those two areas together, so I need to hit my F6 key again, right click and create a void using existing area. Now I've actually cut into that bottom part of the design, hit my N key. Now we have two areas and one area at the bottom. So I might just change the colour of that to a nice blue colour, and the same for this centre area to the blue colour. And I'm not really keen on that being that green, so I just make it a lighter colour. Now on the bottom areas, I'm going to actually change to a complex fill, hit my space bar, go to complex, and I'm going to select a pattern. And I'm just going to select a wave pattern that I've got there. Click OK, apply, and we'll 3D view. Now we have a bit of a wave pattern down the bottom there. Now I didn't do that area in here, so I can select it again, change that to complex, hit my space bar, go to complex and select the same design again. OK, apply. And now we've actually got the whole lot. You can actually change that if you want to. Now for the top area, I'm going to change to complex, and I'm this time going to use a stamp pattern. And I'm going to see if I can find a stamp pattern that's got a bit of a wave look to it. That one will do me fine. Apply and OK. And now I've got two patterns. My seahorse is a complex fill. I might just change the direction of that and generate. Change the eye to Saturn fill and generate, and there you have your seahorse. Now whilst I've got the seahorse selected, I'm going to hit my F6 key again, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to divide with a curve, and I'm just going to start over here and just come around, and I'm actually right clicking to form a curve. I'm just going to go outside that grey area, enter, escape and generate. Now I can actually change that outer area to another colour if I want to. I could also change the direction and generate, just to give a little bit more definition on your seahorse. Now I'm going to actually ask Generations to optimize the stitching order for me, and then I can watch it stitch out. If you want to, you can actually manual punch over the top of these areas. Just right click to form your curves. And then if you hit your F6 key, you could use your divide with a curve and actually make your own scallop areas. If you don't like that just hit your back button, enter, escape and generate. Remove the other areas from around the back, Control Delete. Change the top area to a blue, middle area to a white, and the bottom area to a darker blue. Change your fills, etc. Then you will need to select all three areas and make sure you create a void using existing area to make sure that you've actually cut the seahorse from out the centre. Hit enter, escape and generate, and there you have another way of doing your seahorse and your sea background. You just need to change that to stamp patterns or whatever you want. I hope that's given you a couple of ideas to play with.